Hi, you have tuned into the Raging Aggron channel and I'm your host, Djingis. And today guys, I'm here with week 1 of the PSL Season 3 and I'm really looking forward to this game. We are facing the Cincinnati Ampharos and my good buddy Baron. Link to his channel will be in the description. Even if he doesn't upload his battles, still go and support him. He does some really good content, focusing mostly on Pokemon theories and Pokemon lists at the moment at least, and it will evolve shortly. This is the second season that Baron is taking part in the PSL. Last season I think he went with between 4 and 6 wins. So it was an okay season for someone who hasn't done draft leagues before. His team this time around is scarier in my opinion than it was last season. Last season he took me by surprise when I faced him, and I think I won with just a 2-0, maybe I got a 3-0 with low health on most months because he played very safe and did a very good job on preserving things and attacking me with just the right move every single time, and it threw me off guard a bit, especially early on, but I managed to win that match. So this will be the rematch, and I'm kind of scared because his team can do a good chunk to my team, and we'll go through his team shortly. But once Monster brings, you can actually see his team already on the screen, but I'm not concerned about that. I'm still gonna go through them. Overall, it was a pretty tough week to prep for, and you might see why. He has the Clefable, Porygon 2, Zygarde 10%, Noivern, Hitmonchan, Rotomo, Mega Gyarados, Entei, Metagross, Gengar, Crustle, and Ditto. And our team is not dealing very well with some of these mons. The scariest things that he could bring versus me actually would be some form of an agility offensive Porygon 2 could be a bit of a problem. Noivern, if it is a Choice Specs Noivern, it can hit really hard and be a bit of a problem. Crustle makes it so I can't bring Mega Lopunny at all. Banded Entei is a big problem if I don't get up the rain. Banded Metagross, Specs Gengar are also big problems that would be very hard to deal with. Rotomo can be a bit annoying to deal with, especially if I can't hit it on the switch-in, and it will be allowed to set up. Well, if it's allowed to Will-O-Wisp or Thunder Wave me and so forth, it can be a bit of a problem to deal with. Ditto is always a problem. So overall, it was pretty hard to get away and work around this team and prep for it. I didn't have an easy time doing it. This was the best team of 6 I could come up with. And you will see the replay directly after this team recap that I am doing. But first out, we have Mudvayne, our Seismitoad, with an offensive Swift Swim Life Orb set with Earthquake, Poison Jab, Ice Punch, and Knockoff. 60 HP, 252 attack, Adamant Nature with 88 in defense, 84 special defense, and 24 speed. This allows me to outspeed every single Pokemon on his team barring Scarfers when I am in rain. It also allows me to 100% of the time outspeed, I think it's max speed something that I don't remember right now, or if it was low speed or something else. I don't actually remember what it was for, but I know for a fact that in rain I will outspeed everything barring Scarfers. The only thing that doesn't get 2-hit KO'd by this thing is Crustle. Everything else is 2-hit KO'd easily by this thing, which is very good. And if I get Rocks Up, Porygon 2 can take 2 hits if I don't get Rocks Up. Or get crits or anything, but I do have the knockoff, so I can always just spam knockoff if I haven't already gotten rid of the P2, and then it will die the following turn. That's why it's still a 2-hit KO, technically speaking. It's just a powerhouse when it comes versus this team. It doesn't really have any good way to deal with it. A good thing is that I will outspeed Clefable unless it's a very speedy Clefable, so I'm not sure if it brings Unaware if that negates my Swift Swim ability since it's +2 speed. I don't think it does, because I think it's only focused on damage output and damage input. So I might be fine on the speed already, so I'm just not sure on how Unaware works really in that regard. Yes, but yeah, this is the. Come on, stop with those fucking. It's just my phone, guys. I can actually get rid of it right now. So this is the size battle we are bringing. Should deal with this team very easily. Can't take a grass move at all, but it can take everything else pretty good. I just have to make sure that it doesn't get too whittled down. Next up we have the range setter Kane's offering, our Pelipper with Damp Rock, Drizzle, Roost, Default U-turn, Hydro Pump, 248 HP, 252 defense, Bold Nature, and 8 special attack. This is just in here to make sure that I can stop Metagross, that I can stop Entei, that I can stop some other of his physical attackers. Pelipper is very good at that, and it can be very hard for him to deal with if he doesn't bring Rotom-Mow. And I do have some special defense on my team to make up for the very physically offensive thing I have here. Hydro Pump, it's just here because I didn't really need Hurricane in this matchup in my opinion, and I rather have the Hydro Pump so I can actually fire off Hydro Pumps in rain versus Entei if Entei comes. So yeah, that's kind of what Pelipper is here for. Just set up the rain for Mudvayne and take care of Entei. Then we have Icebreaker, our Current Black with Ice MC, Teravolt, Ice Beam, Earth Power, Freeze Shock, and Fusion Bolt, 112 attack, 252 special attack with Rash Nature, and 144 speed. 144 speed will allow me to outspeed. Oh, I'm hoping I say the right thing now. Outspeed Adamant Metagross, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% certain. It was a good. I think it's over a week since I built this team, and it's almost a week since we battled. So I have forgotten some things. I just haven't had time to sit down on the card before. But I think that was the speed it was for, and the rest I just threw an attack because I really didn't need it in HP for the match. And Freeze Shock ICMC should secure one at KO, or make sure that I can 2 to KO both Porygon 2 and Clefable pretty easily with Current Black or any other Pokemon that I have at my disposal. It's just here to be a backup wall breaker in case P2 or Clefable is too hard to deal with for Mudvayne or a Monomarth that will go over now. A Monomarth, our Tapu Koko with Air Balloon, Electric Surge, Taunt, Tinted Power Ice, Thunderbolt, 236 HP, 252 special attack, Modest Nature with 220 speed. So 220, well, unless he's Scarf Gengar, Tapu Koko will 100% of the time outspeed Gengar, which is fantastic. That will allow me to get the U-turn off every single time and get into some of the mon that I want to. I have Taunt, so I can stop everything on his team I can stop Clefable, I can stop Porygon 2, I can somewhat stop Rotom-Mow as well, and some other ones that he has that I can make sure doesn't get the best out of their usability in the matchup. HP Ice is just there to deal with Rotom-Mow. Thunderbolt destroys his team more or less, and U-turn is just for momentum. HP Ice is also there for the Doggo, of course. The Zygarde, 10%. Overall, I just feel like this is a very solid Pokemon to have. The reason I am Air Balloon is so that I can switch in if I know that Metagross is banded, I can switch in on its Earthquakes with Tapu Koko and scare it out to get the free Thunderbolt off, or free U-turn, or free Taunt, or whatever. And that would be very hard for him to deal with. And that's kind of what I'm hoping on getting here. Next up, we have Slipknot, our Ferrothorn with Leftovers, Iron Barb, Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Leech Seed, Protect, kinda standard Ferrothorn set, 252 HP, 4 attack, and 252 defense with Relaxed Nature. This is just a very easy way for me to negate his physical attackers. He doesn't really have anything that can 2-KO Ferrothorn if he doesn't bring Entei, and Ferrothorn can deal with a lot of his team thanks to the knockoff and Leech Seed Protect. Getting up Stealth Rocks is also very crucial for me in this matchup to secure the 2-KOs with Mudvayne. So yeah, that's the reason behind Ferrothorn really. And last we have Inflames, our Flareon with Leftovers, Flash Fire, Wish, Protect, Will-O-Wisp, Yawn, 248 HP, 8 defense, and 252 special defense with Calm Nature. This, everyone, this is my Gengar. This is my Specs Gengar switch-in. This is also my primary response to Mega Gyarados. If Ferrothorn is low on health or anything else happens, this will be my primary response to a lot of his attackers, because I do have Yawn Protect, and I have Wish Protect, I have a Will-O-Wisp. So Flareon is actually here to be almost like a god. And it can do very well in that regard. Yeah, so this is the team. I will see you in the matchup. Well, in the match. Okay, so here we are at the match, and this is an interesting matchup in my opinion. He brought the Ditto, Clefable, Porygon 2, Metagross, Gyarados, and Gengar. I'm really glad that I don't see any Crustle, and I'm really glad that I don't see any Entei. Looking at this team, I am predicting a Scarf Ditto, might be Assault Vest, probably leftovers, physically defensive Clefable with a specially defensive Porygon 2. Choice Band Metagross looks kinda obvious, but it might be an Agility Life Orb set. Dragon Dance Gyarados is must-bring in my opinion, so that's probably what it is, and either Specs or Scarf Gengar to outspeed Mega Lopunny and Tapu Koko. And the reason I don't have Mega Lopunny here is, as you can see in the text box, is that I don't have well, it's because I thought he would bring Crustle because it actually walls Mega Lopunny pretty well. Very surprisingly it does. So therefore I didn't bring it. I didn't feel the matchup was very good. And looking at it now, I could have brought it and I would have destroyed his team with it. So it's a bit of a misprep on my part maybe. But I still have very good belief in this team, and we should be able to do very well in the matchup. So let's just go through the game. I'm pretty sure we will have it at normal speed to start off at least. I will lead with Tapu Koko and he will lead with Porygon 2, and I will just go for the Taunt turn 1. Stopping him from Toxic Me or whatever he was gonna do. Yeah, he's gonna Toxic Me, and I actually stopped that. Then I go for the U-turn on the switch and go out into Ferrothorn here to get him Stealth Rocks as he switches out to Clefable. And this is the first ballsy play. He goes for Psychic and overpredicts the things that I'm gonna switch because, of course, Clefable will have Flamethrower if you face a Ferrothorn or Fire Blast. But I stay in and get up and knock off his Clefable and get rid of his Life Orb, which is huge for me. Then I switch out into Flareon to take the incoming fire move with a Flash Fire, forcing him out and making me be able to click a free Yawn here to try and make something drowsy and force a switch again. He goes out to Gyarados. I thought he was actually going to stay in with Porygon 2 because that's, in my opinion, that's the thing that he can afford the most to get sleepy, to fall asleep. So therefore I clicked Protect because I was 100% certain that he would try and Toxic Me, stay in the Toxic Me and go to sleep, so he couldn't get anything else to sleep, but he actually switched out into Gyarados. And this is also play number 2 with Flareon here. And well, this was a very tough turn. I didn't really know what to do. I was thinking of going out into Ferrothorn, but Ferrothorn can't really touch. It can only what should I say? It can only stall out Gyarados so much with Leech Seed Protect, and it will just be set up further in this regard. So I actually had to stay in with Flareon here, and I have to click, and I have to hope that he goes for Dragon Dance this turn and not for Waterfall. If he goes for Waterfall, Flareon is dead. If he does not go for Waterfall and goes for DD, I might have success in doing what I will do. What will he do? He evolves, he goes for Dragon Dance. Great. Can we connect the Will-O-Wisp? Yes, we do. So we have burned and negated Gyarados. It's not a threat any longer. Flareon is a god. And he goes for EQ, does nothing to Slipknot. This will allow me to get up my Leech Seed on the Metagross for a couple of turns here. I think that I'll go for knockoff here, get rid of his Choice Band because I'm pretty sure he was Choice Banded because looking at that damage, and I deal a good amount of damage to him. And just click Protect this turn and bring him down to health a bit. And looking at, I think that he will go for EQ again. He has no reason to not do it. That's the best move he has for Slipknot. I just go out into my Air Balloon Tapu Koko. His EQ will fail and he will die to lead seed. Ferrothorn grabs our first kill this season. He goes out into Ditto and he forgot to bring Imposter, so he's Limber Ditto, which sucks for him. If he was offensive, well, if he was what's called, if he was the Imposter Ditto, it could have been a bit of a problem depending on what HP he was, but I could just sit down to Ferrothorn versus him every single time because I couldn't really do anything. Something that threw me off guard though is that I forgot that I'm off the ground with air balloons. I go for the Thunderbolt here, and I'm surprised that it doesn't kill. It transforms. So I thought it was AV for a while there, so I just got into Slipknot here, get the Iron Barb's kill on the U-turn, actually predicted him to switch out because he didn't really need to stay in, he couldn't do anything. So Ferrothorn has 2 kills so far, and now he goes out into this thing again. I just got into Flareon and take the fire move once more. And I will click Yawn this time, but I forgot that I am in terrain. I actually forgot that I was still out of terrain, but I can take that pretty easy, that Psychic, so it doesn't really matter too much. I just go for Yawn this turn instead. And then I switch out into Pelipper to set up the rain on the switch in to Gyarados here. Now click for Yawn again and face because he was already burned, that's what I do. And now I switch out into Pelipper. Lego's Waterfall does nothing to me. And now the rain is up and he has nothing on his team that can take care of Seismitoad right now due to a lot of switching on the monster that needed for that. So I can just go to Seismitoad and start clicking Earthquake because he has nothing that is off the ground. This will 2 KO everything on his team. So Seismitoad will bring up a kill here on Porygon 2, and it will outspeed Gengar because this is Specs Gengar if I recall correctly. Because I think it was Specs, yeah. And it's not Scarfed, I will outspeed it and he will forfeit the match, knowing that I will win here. So it was a good 6-0 week 1. Sorry Baron for the 6-0, and it's never fun to 6-0 anyone, even less so when it's a very good friend. But yeah, I'm really happy with how I played this week. I did a lot of good predictions. Could I have done anything better? Could I have done anything differently? I don't think so. I think this is the best I could have played. And I'm really happy with the way I played. And I really hope that this is a foundation that I can build upon. I really hope I don't have to bring rain too often because I don't want this team to be a rain team, because every time that I bring Seismitoad and Pelipper together, that's a move slot. That literally means that I bring 5 months every week instead of 6. And I'm not a fan of that. But it worked well this week, and hopefully it might work well 3 or 4 weeks in the future as well. But yeah, that was the battle. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time, which will be our week 2 battle.